We get into it?
Let's do it.
Okay, amazing. Welcome back to Ghosted, where we turn the quiet of grief into stories worth shouting. Today I'm here with Sophia Elortegui, who says grief is her superpower. Posts on social media all about griefy things amongst a million other things living in San Diego. I'm so happy to have you here.
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
I feel like we've been like internet friends for a while. Now we can be like real friends.
I know we have been internet friends for a while, and now we can be real friends. And I'll be in Manhattan in September, and hopefully we'll be able to collaborate and do something together, and then really be friends in real life.
No, correct. It's every iteration. It's like online, virtual, in person, doing things together. Fine, I'll come to San Diego. Stop begging.
I mean, obviously, I've been waiting for you to say that.
Okay, Sophie, for the main reason we're here, who ghosted you?
My parents, both of them.
Both of your parents. What were their names?
Marty and Rick, or Majika, or Martha. She had a million nicknames, but Marty and Rick.
We love the name Marty as like the OG nickname.
She was the best, and honestly, my brother, my sister, and I all also called her Marty as we got older. I don't know how much she loved that, but she was Marty, not Mom.
Wait, I love that. I mean, if I want my mom's attention, I'm like, Karen, like it works more, you know?
I mean, Marty was also like the cutest nickname, and it just fit her so perfectly. And then her nickname then eventually evolved to Party Marty, because my mom loved to party. She was like the best time. So like, it's cute. It's fun. So
wait, Party Marty, I love that. Did your dad have any fun nicknames?
Not really.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of their friends called them, like, as a couple, they were Ma and Pa. So he was like Pa sometimes.
Oh, that's cute.
Not as much as my mom. My mom had the more fun ones.
Okay.
My dad was also
as the women should, you know?
Yeah. My dad was the quiet, subdued one, as men should be. And my mom was the fun party animal.
As the man and the woman in a relationship should be.
Exactly.
I've yet to find my subdued one, you know?
Same.
Okay, wait, we're going to have to talk about grief and dating, but before that.
Yes.
When did they pass? How, if you're comfortable sharing? Walk us through it.
Of course. So I'll walk you through the whole story. So when I was 25, my mom was diagnosed with leukemia in May of 2012. I turned 26 in July of 2012. And it was the craziest battle. It was just shy of 7 months, so it was pretty quick. Wow. She went through 3 really aggressive rounds of chemo. She's like the strongest woman I have ever seen, will ever know. I don't know how she did it. I would have tapped out way earlier for what she went through. But then she passed on November 25th, 2012. And then...
Oh my God, so sometimes Thanksgiving's on on the day she passed?
Yeah. Yeah, so
That's interesting.
Passed, we spent Thanksgiving in the hospital, and then she passed that Sunday morning. And it was actually kind of crazy because it was, when we took her to the hospital that time, we thought it was because of dehydration, because of side effects of the chemo. It was not. It was a whole lot of things failing. So we knew that it was happening, but my mom's younger sister lives in Switzerland. And she was like, I'm coming, I'm on my way. She got there on Saturday, was able to see my mom, and then my mom passed Sunday morning. So like, it was just a really crazy, she was able to see all her siblings. My mom was one of 6. She had lost her older sister, I think it was 8 years prior, 2004. And my mom was the next one to go. But she like waited for her sister, which was kind of beautiful. But yeah, kind of all, Thanksgiving has become such a weird holiday.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Oh, it's just weird because it was also her favorite holiday. So now it's my siblings and I, like, we celebrate it because like you're supposed to, but it's just weird.
Thanksgiving's a weird one.
It's weird, and when it's tied to that, it's like, I don't know.
That's why. And sometimes I don't have
any other word other than weird.
Yeah, wait, because it's like the last Thursday, right? So sometimes the actual day of her death will be on Thanksgiving.
Well, it has fallen on Thanksgiving.
Oh my God. Yeah. Wow.
So yeah, it's just like bizarre. I'm sure there's lots of things that you experience that it's just weird. There's really no other way to describe it.
Correct. No other way. Okay, so and then your dad. So that was what, 2012, you said?
That was 2012, November 25th, 2012. Then I was living with my parents at the time. It's like very Cuban tradition. You live at home until you get married. I lived at home until my parents died. I hadn't gotten married. So we were still living in my childhood home. We sold that house and moved 2 years later. So I really didn't fully grieve my mom until we moved out of the house. I was almost like an emotional robot. It was weird for like 2 years. And then when we were moving out of my childhood home is when I was like, oh, I'm doing that. That's when it was like, it just like hit me.
Yeah.
We moved into a condo, then 2.5 years later, so 4.5 years to the day is when my dad passed. What happened with my dad?
They died on the same day?
4 years, 6 months to the day. So my dad was May 25th, 2017.
No way.
I'm convinced that he died of a broken heart. My parents have like the best love story. He had to go be with her. So that's really what brings me peace. His passing was not overnight quick, but still very quick. He had to have surgery. He had a tumor in his colon that he was getting removed. We actually never found out if it was cancerous or what stage it was because of everything that happened in between. But he had surgery for right after surgery. It seemed like everything was fine. 36 hours later, he went into septic shock. So we had to put him into a medically induced coma in the ICU. And then it was 6 weeks of, basically opening every hole that I could in my dad and putting him through a ton of surgeries that I probably should not have put him through to try to save him, and then couldn't. But the way, so with both of my parents, we had to make the decision to end life support. With my dad's situation, this was really crazy. So I have to share this story.
Please.
So I was the one that was essentially living in the ICU, making all the decisions, talking to the doctors, doing all of that with my dad. And there was one day I kind of knew where things were going, but it's also like, how do you make that decision? How do you ask those questions?
Yeah.
So there was this one doctor in the ICU who, by definition, had terrible bedside manner. He was so blunt. He didn't really care about your feelings. He was just going to tell you like it is, which I appreciated. So one of the nurses came in and I said, can I please talk to Dr. Spiegel? And she gives me this face and she's like, are you sure that's who? And I said, that's exactly who I want to talk to. When he gets here, can you please send him in here? So she sends him in and I start asking him and I'm like, I don't know how to ask this, but is there actually progress? And I just start kind of asking, like beating around the bush. And he looks at me and he goes, can I tell you something? I said, please. And he goes, if this was my dad, I would have ended this dog and pony show 3 weeks ago. Sounds very harsh. I realize that. However, the only other person in my life who ever used the phrase dog and pony show was my dad.
No way.
So
your dad was talking through him and was like, cut this shit.
Exactly. Like it was bizarre. Like I just like looked over at the hospital bed and I was like, okay. And then I said, okay, so can you just walk me through the process of like what's going to happen? So he tells me we're going to make him comfortable, tells me everything they're going to do, and then says we're just going to make him really comfortable as he transitions into the next dimension. That's also how my dad would talk. My dad used to always say that after my mom passed, he's like, she's just on a roller coaster in the next dimension. I'm going to meet her there in a couple years. So
that is crazy because people don't often say, I've not really heard someone say the next dimension.
And a doctor?
Correct.
That's
crazy.
That was weird. That felt like my dad talking through the doctor, and it was like, okay, I hear you. This is what we're doing now. So we had to make that decision. I was 30. And yeah, it was, tough decision, but sometimes you have to make it.
Yeah. That's some of the worst parts of grief, especially when someone's sick, is, making that choice, knowing that it's the outcome, but you never want to accept that's the outcome.
Of course not. But
and it feels like a sense of responsibility, even though it's nothing at that point.
Yep. Totally.
Yeah. You said you have siblings?
I do. I have an older brother and an older sister. Mm-hmm. We're very, very close. We were always close growing up. That was something my mom really made sure of. It was like, if we were fighting, she would throw us next to each other and just be like, figure it out. That's your best friend for life. You're stuck here, which I'm really appreciative for, because since they've passed, those are my best friends. We're so close.
Yeah. And you guys, like, throughout the process, were you all on the same page and really doing it together?
Sort of. With my mom, yes. With my dad, yes and no at times. Especially between my brother and I. My brother and I butt heads a lot around when my dad was in the hospital, and around when we were making the decision to let him go, and even around planning the funeral. My brother and I had moments, for sure, that we had to figure out and get over, which we did, thankfully. But it's tough it's really tough to always be on the same page with everybody's situations, especially because I was the one in the hospital, essentially living there. I had all the information. I was talking to the doctors and the nurses, and my family calls me a drill sergeant in the hospital. I'm very on top of things. So I really knew what we were dealing with, and I was coming at it, I guess, more logically than emotionally at that point. Whereas on the other side, my brother wasn't there. So it was just, I think at times he just thought I was being a little harsher than I needed to be.
But it's the reality.
It was the reality. I have guilt around it all the time. Did I make the right decisions for my dad? Should I have listened to my brother more? You can't live like that, though.
No, you could spin over anything all the time.
I suffered with that for so long, and I really struggled for so long, but I'm thankful that I was able to get myself out of that headspace, because you really can't live like that. Nothing was going to save my dad at the end of the day, no matter what decisions we might have changed. Nothing was going to save him, unfortunately. If we could have, we would have. So you can't live with that guilt. You really can't. It will ruin you.
What helped you get to that place of acceptance with that guilt?
A lot of time and a lot of patience that I did not have in the beginning. When I first lost my dad, I was a mess. My dad was my best friend. I was still living with my dad at that time. We had such a I had always been really close to my dad, but we had just built an even closer relationship after my mom passed, and I was still we were like roommates and father and daughter. It was, so losing him, I was a shell of a human. And then I lost my house at the time. My car was in his name. I ended up losing the car, having to get another. So it was all these things.
Oh my God.
That was just, my life was a mess. And then I just lost this person. I was an emotional wreck. There were I think it was 3 or 4 months that I spent. I was taking half a Xanax in the morning, the other half at night with a glass of wine, and doing whatever I could to just numb it. I'm very grateful that I don't have an addictive personality, because I was able to wake up one morning and be like, what the hell are you doing? This is not it. And then the way that I got to, so I moved to San Diego exactly a year after my dad passed away. The way that I got here, I knew I wanted to leave Miami at some point. I had always loved San Diego. A friend of mine she lives in New York. She had a job with the company she was with at the time in San Diego, that she was like, this is yours if you want it. So because I was moving to San Diego, I knew I just had to get my shit together. I was like, I can't be in this like dark cloud of life, moving 3,000 miles away from every person and everything that I know, and I will fail. So I just kind of forced myself out of it. My dad especially, drilled mindset into us from a very young age. My dad was the biggest dreamer that I knew. He could do if there was a dream, there was no dream too big that he didn't believe that he could do it. And he really instilled that in us. And he also instilled in us, there are no problems, there are only solutions. So I live my life by that. There's no problem, just find the solution, figure it out.
I like that.
And I think the problem is my parents are dead. Guess what? I can't fix that. Figure out the solution. How can I still have a life and build something that we're all proud of despite that? And I think that's how I eventually got out of it. It was just a lot of time, a lot of patience, and reminding myself, figure it out. There's nothing too big that you can't accomplish.
I like that. Was it difficult leaving Miami because that was the place both of them were? Or did it feel like a sense of relief?
The exact opposite. It was so easy. Miami had become so sad for me.
Yep.
And I didn't really have anything there. Both of my siblings were married and had kids. Or my brother did not have kids yet. But they were going to be having kids soon. And we're all very close, but it was still, they had their worlds and lives. And Miami just didn't really have it didn't have anything for me. It has my people, but it didn't have whatever my life was going to be. I had to leave, and it was the easiest decision I've ever made in my life and the best decision I ever made in my life. It might have been a little bit of running away.
I mean, fair enough, honey.
The sadness, I mean, it was difficult being there, but it was a little bit of running away, but probably the smartest running away I ever did.
And you love San Diego?
I love San Diego. This city brings me so much peace.
I mean, how can it not? It's fucking sense.
It's spectacular, and there's so much personality here. Every neighborhood and every beach neighborhood has a different personality, so you can get any version of life that you want here. You could be the beach bum hippie, you can be the bougie beach club, you can get the city, you can get the suburban life, you can be in the desert in an hour and a half, you can be in the mountains in 2 hours. I mean, you can really get whatever you want here, and I just love it. I love it. I don't think I'll ever leave.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Was it difficult moving there after they died? And obviously, I don't know how many people you knew there, but building this life now post them passing.
Yes. It's been a journey since I've been here. So I only knew one person really when I moved to San Diego.
Wow, that's so impressive.
Two, but not really. Like, one of my best friends from college was here, but we were on two very different paths of life. Like, within a year of me being here, she was married and pregnant. And I am still very single and child free. So we were on two different paths. So it was like, I still had to find a community of my own. And within a year of being in San Diego, I met a person that I was in a relationship with previously. And the disservice that I did to myself was I just made their community my community because I assumed this is going to be the rest of my life. Then it wasn't.
Wait, what happened? Tell me.
Oh, geez. The amount of cheating was insane that I didn't find out about until a week after he ended things because I have to be a better man for you. And there was a crazy amount of verbal and emotional abuse through all of it that I just...
You've been through a lot of grief, honey.
Yeah. To say the least.
Holy shit. And you met him in San Diego?
I met him in San Diego.
Oh my God. Okay. Sorry.
So, no, you're totally fine. I mean,
that's its own grief, you know?
It's interesting. It is totally its own version of grief. The difference between it, though, is that version of grief goes away.
Wow, that's a really interesting point. Yeah.
That version of grief goes away.
You actually work through it.
Go away. Yeah. You actually work through it, and eventually, like, I am no longer grieving that relationship. I did for a time. I had to work through a lot of therapy, but
therapy.
Love therapy. But I moved past that, and that's it behind me. That was a chapter. We're done. It doesn't bring me sadness at all anymore. I don't know. It's just like it's a thing that happened to me, and it certainly helped me evolve in a lot of ways. It helped me grow in a lot of ways. I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about what I do and don't want in a relationship. I should probably stand up for myself a little bit more than I have in my past. But I don't grieve that anymore. I don't look back and think, oh, I miss those fond memories. And I don't know, that grief goes away. You actually work through it. When someone dies, that doesn't go away, no matter how much you work through it.
Yeah.
That's with you forever.
That's an interesting way of putting it. I love that.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because a lot of people have mentioned that to me, that I've been through different versions. Actually, I talk about this in therapy all the time. I've been through different versions of grief. They don't compare.
Mm-hmm.
And there is still, like, yes, there is still a lot of grief from a breakup, especially when the rug is ripped out from under you. But you can get through it and it goes away. And you're going to be totally fine. Whereas the death version, it stays with you forever, and it's something you're not really working through. You're just learning to live with it for the rest of your life, and learning to live with it in different versions of your life and who you are.
Yeah.
I think it changes and evolves with us over years and over time.
Yeah. That's very interesting. I like that. And it's, I mean, for those other types of grief, it brings a sense of peace that there actually is an end. Obviously, the worst part about grief related to death is that there is no end. And I think
exactly
it gets different. It gets, you get more tools to manage it. I'm not crying every day, but it's there forever.
Totally. It's there forever. And it lingers every single day.
Mm-hmm.
It lingers in the quiet moments. It's always just there. And then when something big happens, good or bad, that's when it gets really fucking loud.
Yeah.
And it's like in your face. And it could be good things or bad things. But I mean, like when things are bad and my whole life feels like it's on fire, I'm like crying in a corner and all I want is my mom. Mm-hmm. That never goes away. You always want your mom. I turned 40 in 2 months. I still always want my mom. But then it's also like in the happy moments when something really exciting happens, I still have their number stored in my phone. I cannot tell you how often I will grab my phone and go look at it. I'm like, oh, you don't know who has that number? Do not press that.
Crazy. Wait, that's so funny because my mom yesterday texted us. My dad's been dead almost 19 years and was like, I really have this urge to just call dad and ask how he's doing. She was like, I don't even know his number because he died pre-iPhone.
Which
so
is
it's
crazy.
Like BlackBerry. Like she was like, I don't even know his phone number because it was just a different time. She's like, all I want to do is like call him. I was like, that's wild.
I don't think that will ever go away. I mean, clearly not if it's been 19 years for your mom. I don't want to take their numbers out of my phone because they're in my. I had an iPhone. They're in my iPhone, and they're still both in favorites.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are they like pinned?
They're both pinned in my favorites, and my mom is stored as Ice Mom, which she made me do as in case of emergency.
A classic mom thing.
Such a mom thing. So she's still Ice Mom in my phone, and my dad is still Daddy in my phone, and I will never take it out. They'll be there forever. I have no idea who has those phone numbers. Hopefully I never accidentally call them.
Oh my God. Yeah. We'll have it not call, hopefully. Imagine you get a call from them one day on accident.
It's happened.
Really?
Yeah. I was already living in San Diego. It's from my dad's phone number. This is actually like a kind of a creepy story. I don't think it's creepy. Some people will though. The call came in at midnight San Diego time. So it would have been 3 a.m. Miami time. And there's this whole thing of like 3 a.m. is a portal.
Wait, what? Tell me more.
I've just heard this, that something about 3 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
It like opens up a portal between dimensions. And
now I'm going to have to look that up.
It was a missed call on my phone. I didn't see it when the call came in. I saw it when I woke up in the morning. And I was like, what? Why did my dad's phone call me? Like, it freaked me out. And then I called the number back, and a person answered, and I just said I had a missed call. And the person sounded so confused. They're like, I didn't call this number. So I don't know what that was.
Did something
crazy happen that day? Has randomly called me. What?
I was like, did something happen that day that he was trying to talk to you about?
Nothing.
That's crazy.
There was nothing specific right around that time that was happening for me that he would have been trying. But my parents have always shown up and sent the craziest messages to me. I'm pretty sure I've seen my dad walking in downtown San Diego in the middle of having like a full-blown crash out. And then I just look over and this person's just standing there looking in my direction. I'm like, that's fucking weird. And then he's gone in half a second. It's bizarre.
Oh God,
I think I'm very tied to them, and they find weird ways to say hello.
Yeah. Is your grief for each of them tied together, or do you think of them individually?
If I think of one, I think of the other just automatically, but the grief is totally different. The way that the grief has affected me is totally different. The way that I miss them is totally different. Things that I need from them or miss from them is totally totally different.
What's different about them?
I think with my mom, yes, I was 26, so like by most people's definitions, I was an adult. I by no means felt like an adult. And I think the way that I miss my mom, I never really got a real adult relationship with her. Like we were friends, but I never really got to be friends with my mom. And I know that we would have been, but so I think it's that, like, it's just a different, we had a different relationship. And then by the time my dad died, my dad and I got to have that adult parent-child relationship, and it was amazing. And he was my best friend. And I think, like, I miss like the nurturing, I don't know if it's childhood side with my mom, and then with my dad, it's like that adult relationship that we had. So it just creates different versions of grief. That it's just totally different phases of life and different things that I miss about them. And like with when my mom passed, I was an emotional robot for 2 years. Nothing could touch me. I was like literally Iron Man. I was fine until we were moving out of the house. Then that wrecked me. Thank God my mom's best friends are who they are, and they all just showed up and did it for me.
Oh, I love that.
Like helped me deal with the kitchen and her office and her closet and like doing all the things. They're the greatest humans on the planet. But then with my dad, as soon as my dad passed, I was a wreck and just like a shell. So it was just different. It was different. But if I think about one, I think about the other, and then it's just all encompassing compounded grief. That's fun.
Oh, that's a good one.
Mother's Day, Father's Day, his death day right in the middle. Good times.
Yeah, you don't just have like the Mother's Day, her birthday, and her anniversary. You got two.
I got
double that.
Both of them.
Lucky you.
Yeah, it's so fun. And then throw the Thanksgiving part on top of it with her.
Oh my God, that whole week.
Good times. Good times. Yeah. And my mom's birthday is 2 days before my birthday. So growing up, she made an effort to make sure that we celebrated mine and hers. She was the best. Made sure that I got like my full celebration. But it's also, I was always celebrating with my mom. So then like her birthday and my birthday are weird.
When are your birthdays?
She's July 22nd and I'm July 24th.
Oh my goodness. I love the number 22. My dad was October 22nd, so I love that number.
Oh, it's the best number.
The best.
It's a lucky number.
It is. It's a very good one. Yeah. No, it's also interesting, and even what you were saying earlier about like not only obviously it's easy to understand how sad moments would make you miss your people, but sometimes I find myself at the happiest moments missing my dad.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, you don't even know me or see me for what I'm doing.
And he should be. That's the thing. It's like all these things that they're supposed to be there for. I remember when my brother got engaged and got married, I remember him saying the day that he got engaged, my dad was still alive, my mom was not. He said the first thing he thought about was the fact that my mom wasn't going to be at the wedding.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that he thought about, the happiest moment of his life.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's going to be with everything. Every happy moment we have is going to be a little bit sad because they're not there. Like, what do you mean they're not going to be at my 40th birthday party? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
That's weird.
What are you doing to celebrate?
There's a restaurant here called Urban Wood. It's Herb, like H-E-R-B. It's my favorite restaurant in San Diego, and they have a private room that's an art gallery. So I'm doing like a dinner cocktail night in there. Because I'm not married and I haven't had any of those celebrations, I was like, it's like a rehearsal dinner welcome party vibe. I was like, this is my wedding.
I love that.
I want to get married. I still think I'll get married. I just don't know if I want a big hoopla of a wedding. So
I was going to ask.
My little celebration.
You do think you want to get married?
I do want to get married. It's weird. When I was younger, I always wanted like the big hoopla, the giant wedding. And I mean, my parents aren't going to be there. I don't know who am I doing it for now. I do want to get married. I don't know that I want the big wedding, but I don't want to get married just to get married. That's why I'm still single at 40.
I love that so much. I think it's like so aspirational because I'm sort of the same way. I mean, I'm younger. I'm still young. Not that you're not still young, but like by means of people being like, oh, like whatever. I'm
totally.
And I'm like, I'll be alone forever if it's the wrong person.
It's just not worth it. And I think also at this point in my life, I've seen so many of those relationships and I see where they are now. And I'm just like, I don't, look how cute my apartment is without having somebody else's opinion. I don't, if it's not it, it's not it. I want all of it. And I want it to be right and feel right. And I want it to be amazing for both of us. And if it's not that, I have built and I'm still building a beautiful life by myself. I have the greatest community of people. I have the best of friends. My siblings are amazing. Their kids, nobody's going to tell me that they're not my children except for the mothers who actually birthed them because they're basically my kids. But I don't know. My whole thing now is if the person isn't making me happier, healthier, hotter, and wiser, I don't want it.
Literally, I'm getting that tattooed. I love that.
If it's not all of that, I don't want it. And then one of my friends said, what about richer? And I was like, well, if they're doing all the rest, they're going to be making me richer, but I'm going to be the one who makes myself rich.
Fuck yeah.
That's my part with that. But happier, healthier, hotter, and wiser. If you're not doing that, you don't need to be around.
Well, it's so funny. So my brother, he's 35, and he's like my best friend, but he says, like him and his wife, he's like, he's like, I know so many more single women who are of my age. And he was like, they're all the best people because they're willing to have boundaries and stand up for themselves and they don't need anyone.
It's millennial women are the first generation of women doing this at mass volumes. Like, sure, we're not the first women putting ourselves first, but at mass volumes, like the amount of us that are doing that and building these amazing, beautiful lives and then finding love and starting families later when we know it's right and doing it with the right person. I don't know. Hopefully we're setting an example for the next generation of women so that they know they don't have to settle for, I don't know, idiots who don't want to get their shit together.
Correct.
You can do it all yourself. If they're not adding to it, we don't need them.
No, literally, we don't need them. Also, like you said, your parents had the most beautiful love story. Like, you watch such love. You have such role models for love. Why would you? You know it's real.
And my parents were the greatest romantic comedy of all time. And if it's not that, I don't want it.
I love that. What was their love story?
So my parents started dating when they were, I think, like 14 or 15. They were together their whole lives. The story gets really good. I'm going to be airing a whole bunch of people's information. It's fine.
Fuck yeah.
So when they were in their early 20s, I mean, imagine this is back in the 70s where if you've been together that long and you're not getting married in your early 20s, what are you doing? My dad was not proposing. So my mom was like, sugar get off the pot. Sorry. Bye. If you don't want to marry me, I'm going. So then she ends up dating someone else, gets married to this person. She's married to this person for less than a year. Her and her ex-husband were going to a birthday party of then my dad's girlfriend.
How'd they know the girlfriend?
They were all friends in Miami. I mean, when I finished this, I grew up with these people's children. We'll call them Billy and Sally. I don't want to fully out them. I don't know if they want. They're just stories everywhere. But so my mom's married to Billy. My dad's dating Sally. So they're going to this birthday party. And I guess there was a rumor that my dad was going to be proposing to Sally or whatever. So my mom sees him and he's like, oh, congratulations. I'm so happy for you. He's like, happy for what? And she's like, you guys are getting married. And he's like, no, we're not. In fact, I'm leaving with you tonight and we're getting married. A week later, my mom filed for divorce. She's married my dad. Gets better. Billy and Sally ended up together. They ended up married. Beautiful marriage, beautiful family. I basically grew up with their kids.
No way.
It's literally a movie. It's the best. Literally a movie.
And so they were close with Billy and Sally?
I mean, they didn't stay like really good friends after the fact. I think in the immediate after, it was like,
Yep.
There's still drama. But for the most part, I mean, they ran in the same social circle. They were still friends. Everybody was fine with everybody.
That is an unbelievable story.
I was very close to their kids. I knew their kids growing up. I used to hang out with them all the time. Their son and I are the same age. And like, it was cool, but like, that was just the time. But like, my parents had to be together. And honestly, Billy and Sally had had the most beautiful family. So it's
obsessed with this story.
Everything happened as it was supposed to. It's just a really fun story that feels like it's out of a movie. So it's like, you really think I'm going to settle when I grew up with that? And like, my parents were so obsessed with each other. They were flirting literally until the day they died. My dad was still flirting with my mom when she was bald and lost all her hair from chemotherapy. It was like, it would make you vomit, the cutest thing in the world. So like, if it's not that, it's not good.
I love that. Did you appreciate that when you were younger, or were you like, ew, stop? And now that you're older, you're like, holy shit.
100%. Yeah. When I was younger, I was like, can we not? But obviously, the older I got, the more I appreciated it. And my parents had the type of marriage that my friends always said they wanted. And that was something that was really special to me.
That's really beautiful.
Like, I even had some friends. I had a lot of friends that looked up to my dad and would say, that's the kind of husband that I want. One of my best friends, who was not close to her dad growing up, she always said that. And her husband is very much the level of chivalry of my dad, and is just a wonder. They have the most beautiful marriage. But that's how I know that my parents were the people that they were. Other people say that to me. Everybody else says it about either them separately or them together. So it's the best. I was raised by the best people. I just didn't get to keep them as long as I would have wanted.
Oh my God, that makes me want to cry. That's so incredibly beautiful.
It's true though.
Yeah, how lucky are you to have that as your role models?
It's the best. It's the best. I'm very, very, very lucky. I might be to a fault because I'm probably going to be single forever, but we'll see.
Like, what's your type? What are we looking for if anyone's listening?
Oh, tall.
I mean, aren't we all?
Tall. Okay. I do have a type. Tall, light hair, light eyes, athletic. Sometimes I like dark hair and dark eyes, but it's usually light hair and light eyes. Usually my friends can pick them out of a crowd. They'll just, Sophie wants that one.
Okay, wow. What ages are we going for?
Oh, that's a funny question recently. I feel like I lived most of my life thinking that girls had to date people right around their age or older. And then I've recently met guys that are much younger than me. There's probably a huge double standard around it. So much younger that they're in a different generation. But like, they're really great. So
love that. But a lot of I have friends who like them younger, and I've always been like oh no, I want them older or my age.
Okay, I was always like that. And then the first person we went on a couple, it was like, he was lovely, and I was so surprised, and I was like, I'm confused. Do you know how old I am? Because I'm like, what do you want with this like old lady? But not old lady, by no means am I an old lady, but I don't know. It was just, there was a 10-year difference, and that feels like a lot when the woman's older, which I think it's a huge double standard. But there is something about, I used to say that Gen Z was the participation trophy generation, and I couldn't stand that about them. But I think the participation trophy generation might have raised some really great men. So I think I might need to take it back.
No, so that's like, I'm like right on the cusp of Gen Z millennials. So I get like both. Like, I'm not like the real Gen Z. Like, some of the Gen Z talk and like all of that shit is not me. But I'm not like, no, like new people who start working like at my job. I'm like, wait, the way we're speaking is not appropriate.
It's not it.
I'm like, have we lost brain cells? So I understand it, but I don't use it. But I'm not like a full millennial, so I get like right on the cusp. But yeah, I don't know. Some of our Gen Z men though.
It's, you know what?
I like the
totally
youngest
taken
of the
me by
millennials.
surprise.
Okay, maybe I'll have to start delving into that. I don't know. You know people in New York?
I don't. I wish I did. I wish I did. I don't. The other thing is, I feel like it's at this point, like, good. Well, you're younger, so it's different. But at my age, like, the good people that are still single, we're like needles in haystacks, looking for needles in haystacks on both sides, like the men and the women. Like, there's a lot of bad apples there on both sides. People love to say that men suck. Women love to say that. They do. Don't get it twisted. Boys are stupid. Boys are stupid. That being said, they do. We can cut them a little slack. They're not all bad. They're just like don't have as many brain cells as us, but they're not all bad. So like there's bad apples on both sides, and we're needles in haystacks looking for needles in haystacks. And sometimes you just have to broaden your horizons. My mom used to always teach me to broaden my horizons. I don't know if what she meant was date men that are 10 or 11 years younger than you, but
yeah, what do you think she would think?
Of us expected that I would be single at 40, and honestly, I think she would be all for it. My mom
really?
So,
why do you say that?
My mom, all the women in my family, really on both sides, were very independent and very like, do whatever you want, own who you are, build something. Like, you're a badass woman. Like, my dad's mom had a med spa before med spas were a thing. My mom always worked. Her older sister always, like, everyone, there's just a lot of badass women in my family. And it's always like, you do you. Be a badass. As long as you, like, build something good and do something you're proud of. So I think she would love it. I am thriving.
I love that. Wait, that makes me so happy to hear. And obviously,
yeah,
like I hate when people like, oh, they'd want you to be happy, BS. But she would
Here's
be
the thing.
happy watching your
Here's
life.
the thing. The whole they want you to be happy thing, I do firmly believe that.
Correct.
I don't think that is a way to help people
That's what
like survive the immediate after. Like all those like everything happens for a reason.
They're in a better place.
Go fuck yourself.
No, fuck off. Fuck
like,
off.
Especially in the immediate after. Like, yes, I know they want me to be happy. I'm not going to be happy right now. Fuck off. But eventually you get to a point where it's, I don't think I look at it so much as they want me to be happy. I look at it as what a disservice to them if I'm not the woman they raised. And the woman they raised would be happy, would be building a life that she's proud of, that they're proud of, would be making choices that just bring joy and like living a beautiful, happy life. But I don't think in my mind, I think of it as they want me to be happy. I just look at it as I have to honor them. I have to be exactly who they raised. They spent a lot of time raising me. I can't just let that go to shit.
I love that. And I was actually having this conversation earlier about one of my favorite things about people who've experienced grief or trauma or anything like that is sort of that sentiment or something similar in which we value life and therefore we make the most of life or at least do everything we can. But especially that piece, I love that. It's okay, we could say my dad would want me to happy. No, he'd want me to fulfill a life that I enjoy because that's his daughter. And it would be a disservice to be Jay Zeger's little girl and not 100%. Do everything I'm meant to do because he's dead. Like, he would be so mad, not because I'm not happy. I could be depressed all I want, but if I'm not trying to make a good life.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
If you are not trying to be something that they would be proud of, and I actually think this applies to every relationship, not just losing a parent. Mm-hmm. You can apply this to losing a spouse, to losing a sibling, God forbid, losing a child. Be exactly the person they loved. If it's a spouse, be the person they married. That's the best way to honor them. You don't have to do certain things. You don't have to be happy. You can choose to be depressed and still build something that they would be proud of. I personally don't recommend that. I was there. It's miserable.
No, girl, Sam, it's not the best.
It's really not great. 10 out of 10, 1,000 out of 10, highly recommend getting yourself out of the depression and finding a way to let the joy and the sadness live in tandem, because the dark hole is not it. I've been there. We all find ourselves there. It is what it is. Fine, but not great. Don't recommend it. You can be sad without being depressed. But I mean, sure, they want us to be happy. That can mean so many different things. It can mean a million different things. If you just do everything in your power to make this person proud and build a life that they would be proud of, whatever that relationship was to you, I think that's what it is. That's it. Mm-hmm. Not they want you to be happy. Okay.
Yeah. I say that all the time in like friendships, and even when we were talking about relationships, like, yeah, I joke around about dating, but I think something that's really interesting about dating and having lost someone, especially having lost someone so long ago that we'll never get to meet whoever we choose to be with, is I always say I have grown to learn to be 100% myself, because I am biologically half of my dad. So if I'm myself and someone loves me for all of me,
oh my God, I love this.
Literally loving my father, like to a DNA level.
Literally.
You are your parents. So you do everyone a disservice. They're never going to know your parents. It's sad. It's unfortunate. It sucks. You can try every day to tell them every detail. But they won't.
If I am exactly who I am and I fully 100% authentically myself, they're going to know my parents through me, because I am the best mix of the two of them.
Absolutely. And they love them and they know them. And that's the best way you teach them about the people you've lost.
Oh my God, I love that. I'm obsessed. Like, I could not agree more.
Yeah, it's all I think about all the time. And so with anything, like even like stupid shit, like posting online, it's like, if that's embarrassing to someone, okay, that's not your cup of tea. Like that's who I am, and I'm being myself. If I'm being fake about it, different story. If I'm showing up authentically,
but if you're being yourself and you're being authentically yourself, who gives a shit what everybody else thinks?
Correct.
It's a way for people to get to know your dad through you, and like, how fucking beautiful is that? And like, no matter how long he's been gone, his memory still deserves to live through you and your brother.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I love
it's the only way we keep him alive.
It's the only way we keep him alive. And you're so right. It's being authentically who we are is how the world gets to know them too. Mm-hmm. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a special one.
It is. It is a really special one. And it's those are the things that help you learn to live with it, right? Like, we're always going to be sad. There's no world that you don't miss your dad. There's no world that you're not going to want your dad at all the big things. There's no world that even what you're building with Ghosted by Grief, how do you not want your dad to see all of that? Like, that I know all the time. I'm like, look at what I'm doing. Thank you for giving me a purpose and a reason to do it. But
isn't that the craziest part? It's like you're doing it because they're gone.
Yeah.
What made you start posting online about grief? Like, were you posting a lot before, or really is like after their passing when you started showing up online and talking about it? I mean, when after they died, for a long time, it was really just, I would post on the big days, on the birthdays and the holidays, just to post to them. I wasn't really sharing my story about it. And I think for a long time, the way that I dealt with grief, I assumed was just automatic. And that's just how everybody dealt with grief, which that's really not the case. So despite not just losing both of my parents, I've been to 42 funerals in my life. And I've been around death at all. My first friend lost their dad at 5. I went to my first funeral at 9. I lost the first person around my age when I was 15. And like many more after that. I mean, there's every age and every cause of death is represented in that number. So I think I just had a lot more experience around it than other people. And I just kind of assumed that getting myself just learning to live with it, I just thought that was automatic. And there came a time where I realized so many people are suffering and it's not automatic for so many people. And I was like, maybe if I talk about it, I can help some people. And I didn't really know how I wanted to talk about it or what I wanted to do, but it was weighing on my heart to start sharing my story for a while. It was several months.
And then this past January on my dad's birthday, I woke up and I was like, if I'm going to start talking about this, I just need to start talking about it, and I need to do it now. So opened up edits. I recorded a video, posted it that day, and have posted every day since. And for the first time in my life, I feel like I'm doing something that's bigger than me. I feel like I'm actually helping people and making an impact. Some of the DMs that I've gotten will blow your mind. I mean, I'm sure you've gotten messages too, but it's amazing. And if I can just help a couple people be able to let joy coexist with their grief, then I'm good. That's exactly what this is for. We don't need to live in this like dark cloud of depression. We can be sad and happy all at the same time. And we deserve that. And so do they.
I couldn't say it better myself. Could not agree more. As a society, we have an inability to talk about things because we constantly think they're depressing and sad. And that lack of confrontation makes things lonelier and sadder. It does the opposite of what we want. And like, we can be fun, crazy, outgoing people. We could go have a fucking martini, talk shit, talk about our dead people, go back to laughing about something stupid. Like, there's so much duality, and I think that these conversations should show up everywhere. Shaking ass and talking about hard things, honey.
I mean, it's such a common misconception that we can't go back and forth.
Yes.
Because we never talk about it.
Because no one gives us the platform or like the space to be able to do that, because it's a mood ruiner all of a sudden.
But I love what you're doing, and I love your series of, I was cracking up at your video when you were just going up to people like, so my dad's dead.
I just filmed one right before this.
Paused. And it's the way that some people react, but it's doing things like that are what will help us normalize this conversation, and will help people be like, okay, maybe we don't have to treat them like these fragile little birds that are about to die. Like, I'm fine. You're not reminding me that they're dead. I'm aware every minute of every day. It's fine. You can treat us normally.
No, correct.
We can talk about it. Like, we just need to normalize it. But because it's never talked about, people who have never experienced death are terrified of it. But newsflash, it's coming for you too. It's coming for you. We're just going to be sitting at the bar, running up a tab. We'll be there when you get there.
Babe, we'll save you a seat.
Listen, we'll save you a seat. First round is on us when you get there, okay? But the club is fucking enormous.
Yeah, we welcome you with open arms.
Yeah, but like the ones who don't get it, I'm like, okay, you're terrified to even talk about it. It's coming for you too. And it could come for you 5 minutes from now. You have no idea. You have no idea.
Yeah. No, I'm laughing when you're like, they don't bring it up because they're afraid it'll make me sad. I'm like, you're not reminding me that my dad's dead. I'm not like, you're not like bringing it up, and I'm like, oh shit, he's dead.
I think people who have never experienced grief think there is this common misconception, maybe not that we get over it, but that we're not thinking about it all the time. And after, like, once the funeral is over, it's like you get it. They think it's like a breakup, that you forget about it.
Yep.
Every minute of every day. I literally think of my mom. Every time I see the number 1, I think of her if I'm inside a kitchen, especially if I see a new, beautiful kitchen. I think of my dad if I hear any good song, new, old, heard it 1,000 times, never heard it before, thinking about him. When I'm getting dressed, I'm thinking about both of them, because my dad was the one that used to take me shopping, but my mom used to think that she could decide what I was going to wear all the time, like most mothers do. But I always shopped with my dad. I preferred shopping with my dad. He was fun to shop with, and he always bought me whatever I wanted. It was kind of comical.
But love you, Dad.
He was the best. But it's every minute of every day we're thinking about them. You're not reminding us. You're not. You're not the ones you're not making us sad all of a sudden. Yes. We were already there.
Correct.
Like, it's already there. It's always there. We can talk about it and it's fine. I just love that there are so many of us that are now finally trying to normalize the conversation and bring the positivity around it. Because I think for so long, before people like you and myself, all of the content around grief is so fucking depressing.
So
And
depressing.
paints you in this like dark cloud, and they talk to you like this. And I'm so sorry, and it's okay to be sad. And it's like, okay, get your shit together. It's okay to be sad. You can also be happy and go shake your ass and have a martini.
Clap it up for
Like,
shaking ass
come
and having a
on.
martini and maybe crying sometimes, okay?
Like, do you want to know how many times I have sobbed in the middle of both Coachella and Stagecoach thinking about my parents?
And
It's
as you
fine.
should.
It's fine. It's because I always wanted to take my dad to a music festival. He died on me before I could do it. So, like, of course I'm going to think about
What
it.
an asshole.
Seriously, though. Like, come on. He died a month after I'd gotten back from Coachella, and we had even had a conversation before he had surgery. I was like, you're coming with me next. My dad loved music, loved concerts. He took me to a ton of concerts. So I was like, you're coming with me. We're doing this. Motherfucker died on me. It's fine.
What a dick.
So now I just keep going to them.
Man, I'll go
and
with
take
you.
them with me. You know what I mean? I'm honoring my parents by being exactly who they raised, and part of that is going to concerts. Part of that is partying. My mom's nickname was Party Marty. Are you kidding me? Hello.
She wants you shaking ass and drinking martinis.
She absolutely wants me doing those things. So it's like, live the life that they would have wanted you to live and they would have been proud of. And if that includes shaking your ass with a martini or spending 3 days in the desert at a music festival, do it.
I love that. But this is the perfect segue to my final question.
Okay.
What's the loudest lesson they left behind?
There's 2.
Give it to us.
There are no problems, only solutions.
There is
not a single problem in your life that you cannot find a solution for. You just have to think of the solution. Whatever presents itself, just automatically think about how you can start fixing it. A lot of it's going to be trial and error, but there are no problems, only solutions. And growing up, my dad had the quote from Teddy Roosevelt, the man in the arena, on our refrigerator. He made me read it every morning. It's not the critic who counts. It is the man in the arena, the man who knows both victory and defeat. So don't sit on the sidelines behind a keyboard talking shit and trolling. Be the man in the arena and go try to build something, whatever that looks like for you.
I love that.
Yeah.
Beautiful, amazing. Okay, these are perfect lessons that we all need.
They're really good ones. It's funny because you don't always listen to your parents when they're alive, and then as soon as
you
they
never
die,
do.
You know, and then as soon as they die, you're like, oh shit, they were right about everything.
The no problems, only solutions. I'm gonna take that and think about that often.
It's good. It's a good one to keep in your back pocket. Use it.
Well, you are the best. Thank you so much for sharing your story, your parents, obviously sharing with anyone in the ghosted community. And to everyone listening, we get to keep them alive. So thank you for letting us turn the quiet of your grief into their stories, because they are worth shouting.
Thank you so much for having me, Emma. I had such a great time.
I had so much fun. Thank you.